How's it going, everybody? It's Mr. Bonhomme. Welcome. I hope that you are ready for this math lesson. So, actually, let me bring you all a little bit closer. Come on. Hopefully this laptop doesn't fall. Alright, there we go. Boom. Today we're going to work on the distributive property of division. We've been working on the distributive property of multiplication, taking large arrays, breaking them apart into smaller arrays, or taking smaller arrays that have the same factor and combining them to make a larger array. Now, the inverse of that is division. They're related. They're like cousins, okay? So we have two problems, one that shows you an array and one that's just an equation. We'll get to that one after. Let's do problem one first. If you see a problem like this that has an array and we are using the distributive property of multiplication, we're trying to have a division equation and break it apart into two smaller division equations. It might seem confusing, but the first step that I want you to do, take it easy, show yourself some grace. You all are very familiar with multiplication. Think of a multiplication equation that matches this blue array and then this red array. Pause the video, check it out, or even if you feel like you could complete this entire equation and this entire equation, pause the video and see if you're right. Get a piece of paper. Alright? Alright, hopefully you pause the video, you gave it a try. If not, you can pause it again and then replay, but let's get started. This array over here in blue, I'm going to count the rows first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 is the first factor. Then I have 1, 2, 3, 4 columns. 6 times 4. As you know, it is, I'll just do like that, 24. Now, on this side, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows also. The rows have not changed at all. 6, that's the first factor. And on the top for the columns, 1, 2, 3, we have 6 times 3, and that is 18. Let me just crown that. It's not my final answer, but it helps me with all the math and thinking that's going on so you don't get confused. So you're going to have to break apart this 42, which, if you notice, if you add 24 and 18, it actually equals 18 plus 24. That actually equals 42, which is the total. Okay? Now, how do you break up 42? Well, it's showing you. 42 is the total amount of squares. How many total blue squares are there? If you did your multiplication equation, you'll know that it's 24. And 24 will go here in this first blank. Then, if you look at this red array, the total or the product is 18. So we're going to put that right here. Because as I told you, 24 plus 18 equals 24. And 18 is going to go right here. Now we have two smaller division equations. 24 divided by 6. Since you did your multiplication already, you already know that 6 times 4 equals 24. So 24 divided by 6 must equal 4. You could skip count by 6. 6, 12, 18, 24. You skip count it 4 times. So that'll go in that space right under. Now 18 divided by 6, you still have your skip counts there. 1, 2, 3. So that means 18 divided by 6 equals 3. And like I said, if you did your multiplication up here, you'll see that they're connected. Now the final step is adding those together. 4 plus 3 equals 7. You combine those together and you equal 7. And I don't know if you noticed this, but when you were looking at these arrays, what was 6? Was it the rows or the columns? The 6, which didn't get broken up, was actually the rows. So we were trying to figure out the columns in total. Which columns is 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Boom. Now, sometimes you might just see that without an array. And you're like, what in the world is going on, Mr. Bonone? What in the world is going on? Well, you'll see it say the total, 72. And you don't know if 8 is the rows of the column. It doesn't really matter since you don't see the array. But you know that it's going to be divided by 8. Now, there's different ways that you might see this. You're actually probably going to get a number in here also. So for this example, I am going to put in the number 40. Let me turn that into a color so that we can see. 40. So pause your video real quick and see if you can answer that right there. 72 divided by 8 equals parentheses 40 divided by 8 plus blank divided by 8. Write that on your paper and see if you can figure it out, you know? Alright, hopefully you unpaused it. One thing I forgot to do with this is get this a crown right here. Ooh, that crown is not the best crown, but it is still royalty. 40 divided by 8. You can do your skip counts by 8. 8, 16, 24, 32, and 40. We skip counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. 40 divided by 8 equals 5. Now, if this was 40, I have to figure out what else is left in this 70. Oops. What's left in this 70? So you took a 40 out of the total, which is 72. Then what else is going to be in that 72? What else is going to be left over? Well, if you have 72 and you take out 40, oh, this is getting hard to see. Let me move you up a little bit closer. Hold on, be patient with me. All right. Hopefully that makes a little bit more sense. I took this 40 out of the 72. Then what's left is going to be a 32. So we have 32 divided by 8. Maybe this could help you out. Pause the video and see if you can fill it in from here. All right, 32 divided by 8. You already have your skip count by 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now 32 divided by 8 equals 4. 5 plus 4 equals 9. And that will tell us that 72 divided by 8 equals 9, which makes sense because 9 times 8 equals 72, and 8 times 9 equals 72 as well. So our answer would be 9. Now, I know this is tricky, so it's going to take some time. Show yourself some grace and don't give up. All right? Peace. This is Mr. Bonone. Distributive Property of Division. It's not easy. It's a challenge, but we all need challenges to get smarter.